It'll make everyone happy. All right.
All
Next
right.
segment, Gerry. Brand new segment again. We're going to do I can't call this free market saints and sinners because you hate the term market, or capitalism saints and sinners because you
I
don't
don't
like
like
the term
that term
capitalism.
either.
So it's free enterprise saints and sinners. So we're going to feature someone every week who's been either a good or a bad what's the word, the representative of or ambassador of free enterprise. So, and this week we're going to do none other than Tom Monaghan, one of the two famous Catholic Detroit pizza icons, the other being Mike Ilitch. But
I don't know who Mike Ilitch is.
Little Caesars.
Was that Little Caesars? They're
Yeah.
both from Detroit. I did not.
Both from
I knew.
Detroit.
Well, obviously, I knew Tom. Tom was from Detroit, but I did not know Little Caesars was also from Detroit.
Yep.
So Tom, the founder of one of my organizations, Legatus, which is an organization of Catholic CEOs, of which I'm the president of the Phoenix. Well, I'm the outgoing president of the Phoenix chapter. He started that. Actually, I can't remember what year he started that, but it was quite a while ago. Amazing guy. Clearly very soft-spoken man, the consummate gentleman. Getting up in years. In fact, he just lost his wife. I want to say 3 months ago. No,
yeah, it was earlier this year. Yeah,
I think July. So God rest her soul. But yes, Tom is definitely a giant of what I would call principled entrepreneurship.
Yes, and he is a giant in Catholicism and a giant in the business world as well. He started in the pizza biz around 1960 after a stint in the Marines. He grew up in an orphanage. His father died, and his mother basically needed help raising him and his brother. He spent a lot of time in an orphanage, and then as I said, stint in the Marines. Wanted to be an architect, and ended up getting in the pizza business, and really just took off. Was an overnight success in about 20 years. So, like most overnight successes. And he's had a hand in just about anything with the name Ave Maria in it. Ave Maria Mutual Funds, they're not our fund, but you could do worse. And Ave Maria Radio, Ave Maria University, the Spiritu Sanctus schools. My nieces and nephews go to those schools in Michigan. So he owned the Tigers for a while. I think when they won a World Series, I should point out. And one of the interesting things about Tom Monaghan, I read a fair amount, two interesting things. I read a book by Joseph Pierce on him, and Tom Monaghan, to his credit, picked Joseph Pierce, who was involved with Ave Maria University, not because he thought he'd write a fawning biography, but he wanted someone to write the truth about him, good and bad, take him wherever the story led. And so I was doing a little additional research because I read the biography about a year ago, and there was an article in the New Yorker about him back in 2007. And it was a pretty good article, but the New Yorker writer just could not resist himself because he talked about Monaghan's rimless glasses that made him look a little bit like Donald Rumsfeld. So,
yeah, he's much thinner than that now.
Yeah,
but...
had to throw in the political angle for no good reason. And that being said, Tom Monaghan has not shied away from politics. He's been a fervent advocate for life. And he had another interesting inflection point. This is probably about the time he started Legatus. He realized he was collecting too much stuff, and he really felt like he needed the validation of too many of these helicopters and cars and the Detroit Tigers. And he started making a conscious effort to simplify his life and his possessions in the late 80s, early 90s. And so really trying to detach himself from a lot of those material possessions. And that's when his philanthropy really took off. So,
yeah, Legatus, which means the ambassador in Latin.
So he is an ambassador for free enterprise system.
Yes, definitely. Principled entrepreneurship. I like that.
Definitely.
Very good.
All right. Well, we got in all the segments in under half an hour. Gerry, anything else to add before we get out this week?
I think we're good on that.
All right. So there you have it. In the meantime, We'll see you next week on the Long Only podcast. Hopefully I was right about the number, 78 or 79, something like that. Remember, check us out on Instagram, taylorfrigon.invest, and our website is taylorfrigon.com. Email the show longonly@taylorfrigon.com. Until next week, I'm Doug.
I'm Gerry.
Thanks for joining us on the Long Only podcast.